What's going on? My name is Alex with Portland Event Films, and today we're going to talk about the very exciting Sony A7S III. Just got this camera out, did some testing with it, and I want to go over kind of a really fast workflow for color grading, either slog 3, slog 2. Currently we're using HLG 3 inside. I've tested the slog, it works really good. I want to talk to a company called Leeming Luts. It's literally only a drag and drop, and it color corrects, not a color grade, but it's more of an input LUT, and it brings your footage from S-Log in one click. Maybe you have to bring down the shadows or the midtones just a touch, but it's pretty much plug and play. The other option we're going to talk about, I edit inside DaVinci, and we're going to use this color checker to get pretty much a drag and drop. This one is a little bit more forgiving, but with the Leeming Luts, if you don't expose correctly, it's going to be very, very dark, and then sometimes you can adjust the input setting. So I color grade in DaVinci Resolve, so this tutorial is mostly used for DaVinci Resolve if you're going to use the drag and drop color checker method. I'm not sure what other programs you can use this method, but you can use the Leeming Luts on all the different platforms, and I'm going to show you how. So Leeming Luts has a specific set of numbers that you have to follow to get the exact exposure. They almost want you to peak and overexpose almost right there, but just not quite there, and that's going to give you the best color image with the Leeming Luts. If you don't, it's really, really underexposed. But the reason why I like the Leeming Luts is it's so accurate in color from what my eyes see to what is actually created inside the program. With Leeming Luts, it is like spot on versus using something like a color checker where you drag this on and you have to just tweak some colors and do some tweaking to my liking. The Leeming Luts seem to be spot on, and so that's why I recommend using those for an input LUT, not specifically for a color grade. So usually what I do is I'll take this color checker out before my shoots. I'll hold it up to around my face, and what I need is this chart that's over here, and we're going to put a chart over it in DaVinci Resolve. And then what I'll do is I'll flip this over, get a shot for my white balance, and then also my neutral grays. And that way, when I go into Resolve, I can draw a box around this portion, get my pure whites, and then also use the gray portion to see where my exposure and where I need to bring up or down. Now, I haven't seen anybody talk about it really, but I really miss in like Lightroom where you would grab the white points and you can push Alt, and then you could see what was pure white and pure black. Inside DaVinci Resolve, they kind of have this option, but I use a little bit different. So they have a pure black button. You go somewhere on the image. So like, let's say if I want my shirt to be pure black, I pick that color and it'll adjust the red, the green, and the blue, and then the overall output to make it pure black. And it's too strong for me, but once it hits pure black, then I bring it up a little bit to where I want. And you can do the same thing with the white point. So those are two options that I like to use, trying to set in for my color correction in DaVinci Resolve. So now I'm gonna take you inside the program and show you how we use these tools to color grade and color match our footage. And really quick, makes it a seamless process. But color checker, a little bit more forgiving. Leeming Luts, you need to hit that exposure. I'll put a link to their website in this description, and they have a PDF before you download the LUTs, and they have LUTs for all different types of cameras. I bought the one that has the Cine 2 profile, the Cine 4, all the HLG, and all the different S-Logs, and they are spot on when it comes to color accuracy. So we're gonna go inside DaVinci Resolve, and then I'll show you how I do the color correction and the color grading with these LUTs. All right, so we're over here in the color tab. First thing that we are going to do is we're going to scroll down to our Leeming Luts. This is shot in HLG 3. Now you can use the HLG LUT for HLG, HLG1, HLG2, or 3. We're going to drop it on. For me, this is a little bit intense. We're going to dial it back just a hair. Going to come down to the color boost the color up a little bit. Still a little milky for me, so I'm gonna drop the gamma down, and then I'm gonna drop the lift down once, and there we go. We got a color grade within less than 30 seconds. Here's a little bit before and after. So you can still, we expose pretty bright on this, definitely ETTR, but it might be a little underexposed for your tasting. So we can always dial this back a little bit more if you would like. But that's pretty much all we do for the Leeming Luts Very drag and drop. All right, so we have our clip of our color checker. We'll grab our color checker chart, and then we need to match this up. First thing we need to do is change this to HLG. We're going to zoom in on our chart. We're going to match up these squares. Change our color temperature. Now we're going to push match. After. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to scroll over till we see our white. Create a new node. Double click on this. Now what I'll use this for is to help me get my white balance. So we can see our red is a little bit dominant. So what we need to do is we need to bring our reds down a little bit, and then bring our blues up a little bit. And then I'm gonna bring, I like to bring my white point up till it hits right at that 896 right in there. So let's go back. We're gonna take our shape off. So we're gonna see what that does. So just fix that red tinge that it had on it. Now I'm gonna reset this. One of the things that you can do is come over here and grab this white balance. So if you want to set the white balance that way, pretty much does the same thing. Undo that. One thing that I like to do is you come over here in this white point picker, select this, and what that will do is just your reds, blues, and greens. And then what you can do, if it's too much, you can dial it back. Now we're going to do the same thing with the black point. Pick something very dark right here. We're going to pick this, and it will make that pure black. And then what you can do is you can adjust how much of that you want there. So that's a good way to pick the white points and the black points automatically. And then I just do the adjustments as I feel fit. So we'll take a look at this really quick. Before, there's our after, and that's pretty much, you know, most of the heavy lifting if you're just trying to get like a Rec 709 look. And then I'll usually save these out. So what I like to do is now I will grab a still, and that will put it in our main gallery, and that will be used for this project. But if I want to use this for all our projects going forward, if you grab over here and go power grades, I now can grab a still, and all these settings will go across all my different projects. I don't have to go into a project, grab a still, and move it around. And so if you're creating videos on a consistent basis and you need to use the same grade, this is a very powerful way to do this. Thank you guys for watching this video. My name is Alex with Portland Event Films. If you guys have any more questions, leave them in the comments below.